Today's episode, we are going to go over all the Week 17 matchup start sits and the latest Derek Carr news.
Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless, hardly ever politically correct. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
We're back, my dudes. This is Trent here. We are in the Dude Den, and the dudes are buzzing as usual. I am Trent, and joined by Jordan, Seth, and Phil is on some PTO time. I guess
he's on leave without pay.
Leave without pay, and would you say he kind of pulled a Derek Carr, like he just kind of stepped away from the program? Like, we told him, we're like, hey, Phil, we're actually going to put you in the producer chair, and we're going to have Seth be on the camera. And Phil said, hey, that's not what I signed up to do. And so
it wasn't in his contract.
He said he left for 2 weeks right after we made fun of him for being sick with his tum-tum. But he should be back on the next pod. But we are in
contract negotiations.
So we'll see what happens. But get well soon. Phil, Jordan, how we doing here? You hanging in there? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Seems like we haven't been here in forever.
Yeah, we haven't been here in forever. Yeah, you guys all have a good Christmas.
Good Christmas. Got an air fryer, so
I actually got an air fryer too.
I've been monkeying around on that with.
I have not done anything with it yet, but
it works pretty good.
Well, what do you put in there?
I've put reheated macaroni and cheese. I have done corn dogs, chicken nuggets, and what else have I did? French fries. So yeah, I've had it for got it on the 26th. That's when we did my dad's Christmas, and I've been putting that thing to use. And I'm kind of glad Phil's not here because we'd get lectured on how like certain things.
What did the reheated macaroni and cheese taste like?
It was really good because it's my wife's like homemade macaroni.
Oh,
and cheese.
okay. So it wasn't like Kraft out of the box.
If you throw it in the microwave, it isn't quite as good.
So like, what did it taste like in the air fryer?
It was good. It was really good. It tasted like it was fresh. So I have liked that. So like leftover macaroni and cheese.
It tastes like it's fresh. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah. I did some chicken thighs in there, and that took a little longer because I was, I took them out in 30 minutes. I probably should have had it like 45 minutes, but it was really good for like leftovers, because later I did microwave it. I'm going to try wings next. I'm thinking maybe for Thursday Night Football, I might throw some wings.
That's actually a good idea. I might have to go buy some wings, some frozen wings, and then keep them. That's a good idea.
Well, I actually, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago. He sat in one of our drafts, but Jake did some not frozen wings, just normal wings, had it at $3.90 and did it, just kept shaking it every 5 minutes, pulled the thing out, shook it. But yeah, Seth, you're a big air fryer guy. You look like an air fryer guy, honestly.
I don't have an air fryer.
Oh, I thought you were an air fryer guy.
I have had food out of an air fryer, and I've been impressed every time. And I've heard good things about them, so I kind of bummed. I probably should have asked for one, but
I got a nice.
I can buy myself one too.
Yeah, it's a Ninja air fryer, so it's got the double thing, the smart finish. It's pretty cool. But what I think everybody wants to hear us talk about is the Derek Carr stuff. Like how he pulled a Phil and just kind of left the facility.
It's too bad Phil's not here because you know that he would have very strong opinions on this.
I just need a little clarification because what I saw first was that Carr is getting benched, and then I saw a thing later, a couple hours later, saying that he's walking away from Vegas.
It's both.
Walking away from the team, so it's like a mutual agreement.
Well, it's all about money. This is what it's all about. It's because if he gets hurt in the next 2 games, his contract for next year is guaranteed. So basically, their plan is probably to waive him at the end of the year.
Okay.
And then, because I'm assuming it's non-guaranteed, so
he'll only get a portion of that money then.
I think
it might be a completely non-guaranteed. I'm
so
not.
He won't even get that money at all.
I think it's like $8 million, and if he plays, it's like closer to like $30 million.
Okay,
so he'll either get 8 or 30. And they don't want him to
something
pay
like that.
Well, no, what I saw is that if he gets hurt in the next 2 games, his contract for next year is fully guaranteed, and then $7 million of his money the following season is also fully guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So it's if he gets hurt in the next 2 games, they guaranteed $37 million or something like that. Like, I can't blame the Raiders. It's honestly the smartest thing the Raiders have done in a long time to do this.
It's the smartest thing, but also they're like kind of using him as the scapegoat for their problems too, right?
And I don't know if that's exactly accurate though, Seth, because that is what they're doing. I know he leads the NFL in interceptions.
It's not like Derek Carr definitely hasn't had a good year, but also he's been subject to a terrible coach that I think that many people can agree he's not that good of a coach.
Well, it's just like when you take a team to playoffs. And when you take a team to playoffs, then you add Devontae Adams and you're worse.
An interim head coach too. They made playoffs.
Yeah.
Interim head coach.
with all the garbage they went through last year. So, and this was a very like team friendly deal Carr signed. But even like Devontae Adams, he said he said today in his interview when they interviewed him, he said I wouldn't have came here if Carr wasn't here. Like it was.
Did he say those exact
said that,
words?
Yeah, he said
He also said too that he, if the coach thinks it's like the best thing for the team for him to bench Carr the next 2 games, then he supports that too. So he's like kind of trying to play in the middle, but also he's Derek's friend.
Yeah,
too, right?
he's trying to play the friend card too.
But he's also a team member and he wants what's best for the team. Obviously.
Well, the weirdest thing about this too is I saw a Raider fan that tweeted at that thing of Devontae Adams and said, well, that's fine. We'll just trade you for more draft picks. That's the easiest way to rebuild. And I just tweeted at him. I said, yeah, Darius Hayward-Bay, Henry Ruggs, like your guys, the Raiders might be better off without draft picks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Devontae if Derek Carr is not there, though.
Yeah, the guy, he said, yeah, there's a stud in every draft. We'll just take our chances. And I'm like, Hayward-Bay, Henry Ruggs, like
their chances have been terrible.
It's just, yeah,
there's a stud in every draft.
Yeah,
But the chance of the Raiders getting the stud is very slim.
So, it's a weird. Are you judging Derek Carr, Jordan, for just walking away like that, or you think he should just stayed in the building?
I think that the Raiders just kind of told him like, hey, this might be the best thing for you just to kind of leave.
Because it said distractions and stuff like that. Like, let's just,
there's only 2 weeks left in the season too.
Well, and let's look at just let's look at just a quick preview at like offseason free agency, right? Like Tom Brady's is going to be a free agent.
Gosh, why would anyone sign Tom
Geno
Brady?
Smith. That's not as exciting one.
If he was thrown to Devontae Adams, I mean, that's a pretty big like.
But
and obviously you don't want Tom Brady on your fantasy team. Like you've been kind of like not been that happy with him. But like if you have him thrown to Devontae,
but it's not like he has some slouches at wide receiver. He has Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
That's true.
And he can't
But he might like Josh McDaniels.
Well, you would think so, considering they spent so 15 years together.
Yeah, so that could be a reason why Brady would go to the Raiders and Darren Waller.
And they almost signed Brady, right?
Yeah.
That was a big talking point of this last year is that they almost signed Brady.
Thanks to Dana White.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Dana White spilling the beans.
The other thing, too, though, is Raiders might lose Josh Jacobs, too. Like, I don't think
Josh Jacobs is happy. He's complaining. He's complaining a ton.
So, like, they're going to lose Josh Jacobs. So, that does hurt losing a running back.
They need to go full rebuild, I think.
Jacobs
but they probably won't because they'll try to be relevant, and they're not.
Poverty franchise.
Like, Colts. I don't know if Colts is somewhere, if I'm a quarterback, I would want to go. But, like, the Jets, if the Jets got Carr or if the Jets got, I don't know if I want to say Brady. Like, who would you want at this point right now, guys?
Well,
Derek Carr or Tom Brady?
Neither.
Well, some team's going to sign. They're both going to get signed somewhere.
Here's the biggest thing about the Jets.
Well, here's the issue: is that quarterback is really bad right now in the league. There's like 7 quarterbacks, 6 good quarterbacks. There's not that many good quarterbacks. You're struggling to find 10.
But so the easiest way, like the Jets have all their guys on rookie contracts. They're kind of ready to build now. They're like a quarterback away, unless it's Mike White, which I don't think it. I don't know really.
If the Jets were smart, they would. I don't know how much draft capital they have. I was saying they needed to try and get like Stroud or
Lamar
Young.
Jackson's a free agent too.
Yeah.
And the Ravens don't spend big money on
Could you see
either.
the Jets just being like, hey, we got 2 years to win this thing. Like, Lamar, we're going to pay you whatever you want.
That would not shock me.
That would be the best wide receivers Lamar has ever had.
That's a total Jets move, too.
Yeah. So, like, I'm thinking something like that, or they go like Derek Carr, or they go Brady. I can't see Brady going to the Jets, though.
Man, this offseason could be really fun.
Yeah, so there's a lot of just a preview, and, we are close to the offseason. We're in the championship week. I should have said that earlier.
Yeah.
But, even like Commanders isn't a terrible team to go to. They're kind of a quarterback away also. I know they have
Derek Carr to Washington. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I could see Washington going after Derek Carr. I could see the Colts going after Derek Carr. I don't know which, like the Colts, I don't know. So the Raiders have a terrible offensive line right now. Their defense is last in points given up a game. Like, this is not going to be a fast turnaround. They need to rebuild that offensive line. They need to rebuild the defense. They have the skill positions on offense, but, it's just going to be a total recall. total rebuild. But even like the Falcons, like Carr to the Falcons with like Kyle Pitts and Drake London, that could be kind of interesting. I know that they're playing Desmond Ridder right now, but you throw Carr in there, Carr could probably feed Pitts a lot better than Ridder. We still got to see what Ridder can do, these last couple games and what he can do during this offseason. But
So this mock draft I'm looking at has Indianapolis taking a QB.
okay.
And then it has Carolina taking a QB too. And Houston, which all makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think there's like three. I can't believe these people have Will Levis going ahead of CJ Stroud. But
Yeah, and a lot of stuff happens. Right
yeah,
now,
so
right?
I mean, there's a way that Las Vegas could have a quarterback fall to them. Maybe they have to trade up a little bit. I don't know what capital they have after the Devontae trade.
Yeah, but like I don't think anyone trusts the Raiders to do anything.
It'd be a
good
very
with
Raiders move for them to take that Florida quarterback.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Richardson.
That'd be such a Raider
Like
move.
they were, yeah.
Because, I mean, he has got raw talent, but he's just very...
Yeah, it says there's going to be four that go in this in the first round.
Could you see like Hooker going to like a decent team in like later rounds and maybe like
And the guy tore his ACL, right?
so he's another year. Or
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. So he'll go late. That might not be terrible, but
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the quarterback movement in this.
there's a decent running back free agency too. So.
It does make you it makes me very happy, and I don't know how you feel, Trent, about Dak, but like, it does make me feel really good about the Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence.
Oh yeah, like
Trevor Lawrence for the next 10 years. Knock on some wood here.
Well, here's the thing. I had a Cowboys fan I was texting during the game versus the Eagles this past week, and Dak threw that interception. He's like, here we go again. This guy's terrible. We got to get somebody else. And I'm like, for one, it could get way worse at quarterback position. Dak he is risky. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. But after that pick, he just lit it up. Like I think he was QB 1 or 2 this past week. Like Dak, here's the thing is we always, we talk about modern technology and all this stuff with surgeries, but like Derek Carr really hasn't been the same since he messed was it his ankle or his knee?
Ankle.
He hasn't been the same. Dak hasn't quite been the same since his ankle injury. Carson Wentz wasn't the same since his knee injury. So it's like these quarterbacks kind of get these injuries and it's kind of in the back of their mind almost a little bit, even though we act like everything's okay. Just something I've kind of been thinking about lately, and I haven't said for a couple weeks, that it's just Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate when he got hurt. You know, then his team winning the Super Bowl and stuff after that, but just a weird deal. But let's get into today's episode. We should probably get into this Week 17 preview though. But we will be coming to you, once a week with just some news, some free agents, some reactions, some rankings, all that good stuff. So wherever you listen to podcasts, check us out. Go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. We will also be having drafts come once a week, so you'll get 2 episodes a week. One football related, one just just some fun, of us having a good time at the end of the week to get your weekend started. But let's get into Prize Picks. Prize Picks is DFS made easy, and they are sponsoring today's preview. You pick 2 to 6 players and over-under in their projections, and you can win up to, what is it, 35 an entry now, Jordan? I should know this.
It's 25x
an entry.
Yeah.
Insert promo codes dudes, and they will match you up to $100, and it really helps your favorite dudes out. So just go to prizepicks.com and enter promo code dudes. They will match you up to $100, and it really helps us out. And if you really want to help us out, for this wrapping up this year here, go scroll down the bottom of your podcast. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Really helps us out. We really appreciate those 5 stars, and we really appreciate all of you who have been listening to us this whole entire season. It's been a lot of fun. But Jordan, you got any Prize Pick plays you are interested in here?
Yeah, I didn't really look too much. I just looked a couple that off the cuff kind of seem 2 running back ones. Like I like ETN a lot in this spot against the Houston, 73.5 rushing yards over that, and then the other one I liked was Cam Akers over 66.5 rushing yards. Those are just 2 that I just kind of briefly looked at. I haven't looked at a ton here.
Here's 2 that I've looked at. I have Travis Kelce over 71.5 rushing or receiving yards versus Denver. And then I have Evan Ingram over 49.5 receiving yards versus Houston. So those were kind of, I feel like Kelsey's kind of, Denver they're decent against the pass, but I feel like Kelsey's kind of that guy that no one has an answer for. But those are my 2. And I even kind of like Dak Prescott over rushing yards 10.5.
Interesting.
I feel like he has gone over that his last 3 games. And in order for Dak to be effective, he has to start running the ball more. And I know Jerry Jones says he wants him to run more, but Dak needs to run the ball more just so teams have to respect that, and it opens things up.
And I've seen him run for quite a few first downs too.
Yeah,
Like if he does that more, I think it
really opens
some
up
more.
the game.
He did that. He did that quite a few times against the Eagles, and I think that helped CeeDee Lamb get open way more.
Yeah. No, he does. It opens everyone up. I also saw Dalton Schultz receiving prop. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I think it was 39.5. Didn't mind that either. I'm a real sucker for, tight ends. Like I always want to go after, tight end position.
Especially when they're on the Cowboys.
Especially on the
What about your
Cowboys.
boy Cole Kmet? He had a monster game against the Lions last time they played.
Well,
They're
now
playing
you're
him again.
now you're jumping ahead of everything, Seth. You're leaking some starts of the week. Last time I had him versus the Lions.
Okay,
he went
well I
off.
didn't read it, so I'm sorry.
This is why why we're talking about putting you back here and filling the producer chair, but that's a whole nother off-pod drama that we need to hash out.
I shouldn't have said that.
But anyways, let's get into this preview. Seth, can you give us the totals from last week and the entire season, please?
Sure. For last week, we had Trent going 10-6, Phil 9-7, Jordan with a monster 12-4, and I'm at another 10-6. Jordan, Trent did change the headshots this week. We don't look as bad without our Christmas attire. But if we want to go to the season long, me and Jordan are tied at 152 and 88. Phil is at 145 and 95. And Trent is at 142 and 98. So Trent is only 3 games behind Phil, but he is 10 games behind Jordan and I, who are now tied.
Well, do you believe in miracles, as Al Michaels would say? And if you want to see those, graphics and all that stuff, we got graphics for each start and sit and some other fun stuff on YouTube. Go to tffdudes and go ahead and subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell. You know the drill. And, check us out there as well. You can see our, I don't know, would you say beaming looks? Or what would you say, Seth? Maybe you got nice like a Village Inti filter or something you can throw on us for the YouTube page. Seth is...
If you want to see the ugly mugs, come check out the YouTube.
All right. That's why Seth might be coming behind the chair. But anyways, let's kick it off with Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. We have the Dallas Cowboys traveling to play Tennessee, the Titans. The current line is 39.5, and Dallas is favored by 12. This is a very strange game here. I know Derrick Henry is doubtful. Jordan has a sit in this game. The weird thing about this game, Jordan, is it really has no division ramifications for the AFC South. Like if the Titans lose, it really doesn't matter. It's all going to come down to Week 18 with Jacksonville. So it's just a weird thing. So I think they're almost like, hey, let's just save Henry for that game. It's an early playoff game. Like if they beat the Cowboys in this game, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect that final, because I think their records are the same. Am I right on that?
Yeah, so the game has no bearing on whether for the division titles. So pretty sure the Titans are going to sit everyone in this game. So
Yeah.
for sure Henry.
So this is their Week 18, basically.
Yes, because week 8, everything's
week
going
18
to come
means
down to
something.
week 18.
Yeah.
So win or lose, it doesn't really matter here for the Titans.
Yeah, the opening line was 43.5, and now it is 39.5. So you have a sit here, Jordan, if you want to get into this.
Yeah, so when I did this sit, I did not realize that Tony Pollard was questionable, but he is traveling with the team, so that makes me think that he probably will play. And the Cowboys need to win this game, right? Like,
Yeah, they need to.
yeah. So I kind of think Pollard plays. So my sit was Zeke, or is Zeke. Like I said, the Pollard stuff makes me feel less confident about it, and I didn't feel great about it anyways. But Pollard and Zeke are a 50-50 split. Also, I think Malik Davis has looked pretty good when he's played.
he
And
has.
I still don't think that they want to push Zeke too much going into playoffs. So, yeah, and the reality is Tennessee is still the second best run defense in the league. So
Yeah.
they're still a really good run defense, and I think Dallas probably passes a ton here. And I just don't think you need to go Zeke here, especially if Pollard plays. So yeah, I don't, and yeah, I think that Tennessee defense, they're missing a lot in the secondary, a lot, and their pass defense is already bad. So I really like the Dallas passing game here a lot more than the Dallas run game.
Yeah, and just before we get into any more starts and sits, the Fantasy Dad, he has an article coming out, and it's just it's gut check time. So we're going to have starts and sits here, but it's championship week. You guys are kind of the ones that got you here. You know, like we were here along the way, but like, you know, kind of go with your gut. Like, don't spend all off season being like, man, why did I bench this guy? Because
that's true.
So put this in your own court. Like, we're here to, you know, bounce some ideas off and help you out. But, you know, at the end of the day, you guys got to, you know, make this decision.
You make your own decisions.
Don't overthink it. That's what the Fantasy Dad said. He said, don't overthink it. You know, that's the biggest, you know, championship killer. I'm seeing, you know, the hamster wheel just spinning in Seth's mind while I said that. Because now
I'm playing Phil in our Dynasty League, and I'm playing in a championship for another one. So, like, the pressure's on. I mean, I think I'm projected to kill Phil, so I'm not really worried about it.
But I don't know if that's a good thing to talk trash about the guy that's not here. Like, I'm
That's
all for
fine.
talking trash on Phil, but like
I'll
saying
talk
you're going
trash
to kill
when
a
he's
guy in a
here.
championship, though, like
I am going to kill him.
well, just know Sunday night, one of these guys is going to be really happy, and maybe Phil takes another show off if Seth beats him, Jordan. You know, like that's a dynasty league. There's a little bit of cash on the side.
Wow, he is projected to beat him by 40 points.
I don't know.
I've seen crazier things happen.
I don't know if
Seth.
Phil has the most optimized lineup, though. I didn't really look into it that much. I just saw my
Phil's
projection.
the type of guy that like will bench everyone just so you like go into the weekend super confident, though, too.
Yeah, Phil does not have the most optimal lineup right
But I
now.
still think even it's almost optimal, I projected by, I think at least
Be
like
about
30,
20 points.
20 or 30,
Yeah.
something like that.
So, you know, dynasty league, and yeah, that's a
Hopefully
fun
Phil
little
doesn't
league.
forget to change his lineup while he's on
It's our-
wherever he's
you know,
at right
Dino
now.
dudes. So there's a little bit of little bragging rights there on the pod here. 2 hosts in the finals. Anyone on the Tennessee side, you're like Malik Willis. Like you're obviously not starting. I'm more looking like DFS way.
No.
because I don't see anyone like.
I mean, the
season
only
long
guy I
you're gonna
think.
Play,
so
right?
if you do have Henry, I could see you like maybe Hassan Haskins, but I think it's a decent spot there for Haskins.
and Davis maybe is a deep play, like you said.
You're not, and your season long, you're in a championship. Like I'm saying, the only way you're playing Hassan Haskins would be if you have Derrick Henry, and there's not a lot out there probably right now. So
Well, and then I'm like, T.Y. Hilton said that he has the whole playbook down. He's ready to make more plays, which he made 2 really big plays against the Eagles. But just DFS, like, you know, dart throws, that's really all I'm saying there. I don't think there's anyone else season long. You're going to just play your studs in this game is all I would say. But yeah, let's pick our teams. And Seth, show the picture of what Phil sent in for his picks for this week. Like,
This is just funny because we have a Google sheet where you can just type it in, like what your picks are. And
Yeah,
Phil
it's
decides,
really handy.
Trent says, or you guys remind him to send his picks in, and Phil sends in this screenshot that I'll pull up right now, where it is just a screenshot of the games coming up, and he circles in red which team he thinks is going to win. And I think it just took just as long than to type out the teams that are going to win. But
yeah, because he had to send in
thought it
3
was funny.
separate screenshots.
by the Seahawks, he put a sad face, but he still picked them, I think.
Okay. Who does he have in this game, Seth?
So he circled the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anyone going Tennessee here?
no.
All right. Well, we will keep moving on to Sunday. We don't have any Saturday games this week. You know, we got the college football, which those will be fun too. Phil even sent in college football picks. I don't know.
For games that already happened, I think.
Yeah, he's like, look, I picked these right too. It's like, okay, Phil, we do not care. Anyways, we got a little bird fight in Atlanta. We got the Cardinals at 4-11 traveling to take on the 5-10 Falcons. The line is 42, and Atlanta is favored by 3.5. Did I do okay there, Jordan? Should I say the total or should I say the line? I messed that
Total.
up. Total. The total is 42. So, Falcons, are they still alive in this playoff hunt? They got a long shot to get in?
I think there's a
Bucks
possibility.
are 7-8. Falcons are 5-10. So maybe they're
I think it's pretty much
shot.
yeah.
But anyone, you know, I'm sorry, I have a start in this game. I have Tyler Algier. The Cardinals they struggle on the run. Their defense struggles everywhere. And I guess we didn't talk about J.J. Watt, you know, announcing his retirement. That is I almost feel like we should have a moment of silence because that is Phil's favorite player in the league that does not wear the Seahawks uniform. So should we just have a moment of silence for Phil and J.J. Watt?
Maybe for J.J. Watt, but
Maybe
not
for
Phil.
J.J. Watt, but not for
Phil is like the biggest J.J. Watt fan you will know.
So
Okay, fine.
I don't care.
We won't give him a moment of silence. That's fine.
he doesn't deserve it, Phil.
All right. So this is the second best matchup for a running back at Arizona. So I like Tyler Algier. He's been getting the ball. I really think you could probably start Patterson too. You know, Desmond Ridder, they're trying to get him involved. So I think you can kind of go bombs away with Atlanta running backs in this matchup. And Arizona is just a dumpster fire also. Like, it is not good there. Like, are you excited to play Hopkins?
Colt McCoy is playing this week.
Okay.
So I think that helps Hopkins and Marquise Brown a little bit.
Yes, it should.
I mean, ultimately, like, your best plays in here is James Conner. You're starting. I think you can feel better about Hopkins with Colt McCoy back. And then, yeah, I like the Algier. I think Drake London, if you're very desperate, might be okay. But
I saw a Drake London stat. He's like up the top, towards the top of the league, maybe the top in red zone targets.
He's going to be really good next year.
Yeah. And it's kind of like a, dynasty play, but yeah, let's, do we want to talk anything else, say anything else about this game? It's kind of a weird game. This is the morning slate for Sunday. Is anyone going to take the Cardinals?
No.
Like, I don't want to take the Cardinals, but would it surprise me if they really pulled something out?
Yeah, I'm going to go Atlanta.
I'm going Atlanta also. Who did Phil take, Seth?
Would it surprise you if Phil took the Cardinals?
It wouldn't.
No, he didn't take the Cardinals.
Okay.
He took the Atlanta.
Alrighty. Let's hop into game 3 here. We have the Chicago Bears, who are traveling to Detroit. Chicago is 3-12, taking on traveling to the 7-8 Lions. The current total is 52. Did I mess that up again, Jordan?
No, that's right.
Total is 52. Detroit is favored by 6. This is kind of a fun matchup, really. I have a start in this game also. Seth kind of spoiled it, but I like a lot of the guys on the Lions side. Also, maybe I don't like Lions running backs just because we don't really know what we're getting there. Like, Jamal Williams is he's kind of been irrelevant the last couple weeks. DeAndre Swift, it's just is DeAndre Swift. Like, I don't know.
So it's a 3-way split, but Swift did get 50% snaps last week.
So it's kind of going up. I do like DJ Shark. I feel like it's kind of sneaky. He's been playing pretty good. I don't hate streaming Goff this week. Like, if you have, would you rather stream Jared Goff, Jordan, or Gardner Minshew if Hurts doesn't play?
Goff.
Okay, and then
did you say your start?
I didn't say my start yet. I was just talking about some other stuff in here. But I have Cole Kmet as my start. Last time he played these guys, I think he had 25 plus points fantasy wise. They are very bad against the tight end. They are the second best matchup for a tight end. So I'm going Cole Kmet with my start of the week here at tight end. And that does it for my starts. Is there anything else you kind of want to add in here on this?
I think for DFS, this would be a pretty popular game. Justin Fields is awesome. Jared Goff stacks, Talmon St. Brown. You can play Justin Fields by himself, or you can play him with Cole Kmet, like you said. So it's a good game. It's, I think, by far the highest total on the week, by a few points too. So I like this. It's a great spot for Justin Fields, and it's just a good spot. I like the DeAndre Swift thing's interesting to me, just because it's a really good spot for their running backs. But last time Swift played 50% snaps, next week he barely played. So it's hard to know.
It's really hard to know. And even Justin Fields has kind of been down to earth a little bit lately, right? He had that really big...
this is a really good spot, though, in the dome,
he
inside.
Still had 21 points, he only had 9 points versus Buffalo, but that's a tough matchup. He did have a good game against Philadelphia. Yeah, this is a great Fields matchup.
Yeah.
And I think his scrambling will help Kmet also. Is there anyone here that's going to take... The Bears, the Lions coming off a huge
I got
loss.
Detroit.
Detroit got embarrassed last week versus the Panthers. Bears running backs, that could be a good start. Did you see
David Montgomery's interesting too.
That's a good start because you see what he did. But here's the thing with David Montgomery. He starts out slow every year. If you look at the past 3 years, he is a total beast in December fantasy playoffs. His team.
See, Derrick Henry Jr., the poor man's Derrick Henry.
Last year, Jordan, we were in a league, and I'm pretty sure Montgomery team made it to the finals. And then the year, but he's that guy you get late, and come playoff time, for whatever reason, he does really good in December. Are you looking it up right now, Jordan?
Herbert did. I was just looking at the Khalil Herbert thing. He did come back and play 41% snaps.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but also if you look at the game last week, both running backs had over 100 yards for the Panthers.
Yeah. And like Montgomery didn't have a good game last week, but like this is another matchup where you're gonna be like, oh, I played David Montgomery, and because he had 22 fantasy points, half point PPR versus Philadelphia 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, in the week before then, he had 14. So he's been double digits every week except last week since week 10. So
I think it's possible Fields gets 100 yards rushing here.
So he is going for a record. I think he needs 100 yards for the record. I guess the
He'll do it.
quarterback for in a
Yeah.
season rushing yards for a quarterback.
So he'll get it, but maybe this game he'll do it too.
yeah, because Detroit's allowing 145 rushing yards per game. They're 28th. So everyone's going Detroit. No one's going Chicago.
I'm going Detroit. Phil picked Detroit as well. He can never pick against
all
the
lines.
Lions.
It's never. I feel like it's always bad when we all pick one team. I feel like it always.
Well, it's either.
flips
I
on
mean,
us.
yeah. Usually we're right though if we all pick the same one team. I think.
I don't know. I do not know about that. But anyways, let's get to our next game. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 7-8 traveling to Houston at 2-12, who are 2-12-1. The total for this game is 43.5. Jacksonville is favored by 4.5. Jordan has a start in this game. Jordan, let me pass this over to you for your start.
Oh yeah. So my start here is Brandon Cooks. As good as the Jaguars have been playing the last month or so, they still can't cover the passing game. I know last week they probably looked decent in the stat, but Zach Wilson was so bad last week. Like it's hard to even put much stock into that. Every other week before, they just giving it up through the air. They give up the fourth most passing yards and over 20 fantasy points per game to wide receivers. Brandon Cooks came back last week, had 9 targets, and 75% snap share, plus he did a touchdown. I think he could have had a second one, but he got called back for a penalty. So, yeah, I really like Brandon Cooks here. I think Nico Collins will still be out. So, yeah, I like Brandon Cooks a lot here. I like him season long. I think you can start him in your championship game. And then I also like Cooks a good amount in DFS this week, too.
I'm just looking at other guys on this list here.
So, it's ETN. He's in an awesome spot.
Yeah.
I like the ETN Brandon Cook secondary stack in DFS. And then obviously you can play Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, Trevor Lawrence. They're all playable, but they're none that are it's hard to not play Trevor Lawrence after if he's probably some people may have got to the championship with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah, someone definitely did.
And Evan Ingram too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Evan Ingram. He's like that
Yeah.
tight end and he's been on fire too. So.
Evan Ingram's going to help me win an egg bet because he's going to keep Gerald Everett out of the top.
Yeah,
10.
he is. Gerald Everett lost me a championship last week. Actually,
He didn't even get a target yesterday.
No, yeah, he didn't get a target Monday
last
night.
week.
Yeah, it was bad, man. I needed 6 points out of Everett, and I really thought I was going to get it. And yeah, that was a championship game. They did did a week earlier in that league, so that was an unfortunate. I was going to get a new jersey if I won that league, so that's a bummer. I'm going to have to wait another year. Yeah, it's a real, it's a very interesting side with the Texans side. Is Davis Mills' snap percentage kind of staying the same? Is he still at 80% or whatever? I think it was 88 last time we looked at it, but I guess I could look that up too.
I got it right here. It's why is it not Davis Mills?
He's 78% snap percentage last week versus Tennessee.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just weird seeing that. But is anyone going to pick the Texans here? Anyone go out on a limb? We've all been exactly the same, each one. Who did Phil pick, Seth? Why don't you give us that one first?
I'm pretty sure Phil picked the Jaguars, but I'm going to go with the Jags. He picked the Jaguars.
All right, I'm going to go Jags also.
Yeah, I got Jaguars.
Alrighty. Next game we have left, we don't have any starts or sits in this game, but we have the Denver Broncos at 4-11 traveling to Kansas City, who is 12-3. The current total is 45, and Kansas City is favored by 12.5. Kind of a weird game. The Broncos just fired Hackett. You got the Russell Wilson thing. Is there any chance the Broncos come out and play a little bit better than what they have? They can't play worse than what they did versus the Rams. But sometimes, you fire a coach, teams come out a little more fired up, play a little bit better, and it wears off.
Do they finally ride?
No.
I don't think they finally ride, but what a weird season.
Yeah, I mean, this is I don't know. This game is
Casey should just
play all your Chiefs. I think last week tells me Denver's pretty much given up on the season. So
Yeah, you got guys
I think
fine.
Pacheco, McKinnon, they're both fine. Before last week, Denver's run defense was pretty good, but I don't know after last week. So obviously Mahomes and Kelsey. I'm not playing. I would not feel confident starting any Denver guys in a championship.
No, me neither.
And so, and then, DFS wise, I don't like much.
I had someone ask me, would you rather play Jerick McKinnon or Amari Cooper in their flex? And I said McKinnon. That's what I said. But
Yep, 100%.
All right. I'm going to say Chiefs win this. Did Phil go off on a limb and go with his boy Russ, Seth?
No, he picked the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs as well.
It's been some boring picks here. Someone's got to break off here.
Well, I think some of these games have just been too. They're too obvious. I feel like to go the other way, right?
Yeah, and then we got our picks next week too. But
Well, Seth and I are not going to go too far off the.
No, I'm not going too far off unless
Exactly,
it's like a
yeah.
50-50 game here or something like that.
This is a weird one here too. We got the Miami Dolphins at 8-7 traveling to New England, who is 7-8. The current total is 41.5, and New England is favored by 3. We got all the, Tua drama where he got concussed. He looked so terrible on Christmas Day. It made more sense.
He got a concussion in the second quarter.
Did you see the clip of him actually hitting his head?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like it was definitely concussion type hit on the ground.
Well, the weird thing, yeah. So the Dolphins are under investigation still, with all this stuff. I don't know how they miss it after the investigation.
And he self-reported on Monday too. So he must have really felt bad on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Or Monday morning, he's like, oh shoot, man, there's something wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And if he already had that concussion earlier, right?
That or he's just saying that because, he played so, I'm just kidding. But
I think there's such a dramatic difference in how he played. There was definitely something wrong with him, and maybe he was really telling himself there wasn't, or he wasn't thinking clearly. Because you hit your head enough times, you definitely don't think right.
This new concussion rule, it's just going to be like the Tua rule, and
it's the Tua rule.
It's going to get more extreme where these guys are going to have to sit out, at the smallest things where they just need. It's just going to change it more and more because it's already changed once pretty drastically this season. And it's just going to keep going.
Well, and one thing too is, we all watch UFC here. I know Jordan probably and Phil watch it more than we do, Trent. But it's one of those things where you get knocked out, you kind of lose your head for it. These guys,
like a glass jaw.
It's you lose your jaw. You're more susceptible of getting concussed again after your first concussion. And clearly, with Tua's case, you can see the
he's had 3 in 2 months.
Yeah.
So he might be out for a while.
Yeah.
They're not going to clear him anytime soon.
Especially if he self-reported on Monday. That probably clearly means he did not feel well at all.
No. Yeah. So we got Bridgewater starting. You can play. Obviously, you're playing Waddle and Hill, but man, does not feel good. So.
Bridgewater's he's a solid backup.
You're not feeling good about it.
It's the Patriots too, right?
Yeah. And the last time this happened, Bridgewater got hurt 5 minutes in, and he had Skylar Thompson the rest of the game. I think Jacoby Myers is in a pretty good spot if you're still alive with him on your roster. Ramondre, you're playing. It's a tough matchup, but you're playing. But I don't like this game. For DFS, I'm not playing anybody in this game.
Yeah, the Patriots are they're the 14th, hardest team against the pass. So they're middle of the road, 213 passing yards per game. Not excited about any Dolphins running backs either.
Yeah, it seemed like a 50-50 split last week.
Yeah. So just weird. The Mac Jones stuff, all this stuff in New England. I'm going to say that who did Phil pick?
Go ahead. Let me find it real quick.
He took Miami. I have it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm thinking Miami also, but
I'm taking New England.
I'm not thinking Miami. I'm taking New England. Home field advantage.
Yeah, I thought maybe Seth would.
I'm not. No, Jordan. It's home field advantage.
I get it. Home field advantage. Backup quarterback. It's going to be cold. You have a team, traveling to
I just don't think
The Dolphins are in a land free fall too. Like they're
They're in
not
a free
playing
fall,
good.
absolutely.
And I think Teddy Bridgewater, like obviously we've seen that guy play, and like he can be a good quarterback at times, but I just don't think it's going to be this week.
But the Patriots' kryptonite in the past has been the Dolphins, even when Brady was there. You know, I got to talk myself back into this. Maybe we have another Ronnie Brown Wildcat game or something. You know, like,
You and Phil can gladly be. Honestly, it
Honestly,
doesn't-
Trent, you
I had
probably
Ronnie
need to
Brown
take-
on my bench
you
when
and-
that happened in that
You
Wildcat
and Phil
invention.
probably do need to take the opposite of me.
Well, I
Jordan.
want to go the opposite of Phil because I'm actually, 3 games behind Phil.
Yeah. And if
So
you
that's-
want
that's
to,
why I wanna-
and if you want to catch us, you honestly
Yeah,
really
so
probably
I'm
have
gonna
to.
go.
You need to take. Some
I'm not
opposite
going
picks.
for first because it's going to be hard. I just got to beat Phil. Like it'd be
So are you going to take New England with us?
Yeah, I'm going to go New England because even
Trent just
before
wants
you
to beat
said it,
Phil at this point.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Can anyone blame me? Like I'm sure all the listeners are on my side.
Yes.
But anyways, whether you love the people in your life or hate them, you should tell them about the dudes. We bring people together. After I said all that stuff about Phil, highest compliment you can give our dudes is referral of your family and friends. Just remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. And so our next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts at 4-10-1. I love throwing those ties in there. Versus the New York Giants, who are 8-6-1. The current total is 38.5. The New York Giants are favored by 6. I don't believe we have any starts and sits in this game. Oh, Jordan, actually, I have a sit. I'm sorry. I'm all, now that I'm reading these lines, I do get a little bit more distracted. I have Michael Pittman as my sit. I am so sorry. Just with the whole, we're seeing Nick Foles play out there. Like, I don't even get it. I don't understand why
Does he start again after
Yeah,
that
I think
performance?
so.
they're starting him again.
Man.
And
Why don't they just play Ellinger? Like I don't.
that makes sense. But that was the old regime that played Ellinger, and now you have the new regime, and they're playing Nick Foles. Like,
Ellinger seems like
maybe you could build something into it. Like
Why am I blanking on the coach's name in Indianapolis? Saturday.
Yeah.
Ellinger seems like a Saturday guy. I don't know.
He does, but after what I saw versus the Chargers, it's like, no, you can't play him. I saw a guy on Twitter. You see crazy stuff on Twitter. The guy lost his fantasy football semifinals last week by less than half of a point because he played against the Chargers defense. And so basically, if the Chargers wouldn't have gotten one of those 7 sacks or one of those 3 picks or given up a touchdown, the guy would have won. But, you have...
I'm pretty sure that I have the worst, the craziest defensive story. And have I told that story on the pod?
Just share it. But yeah, just think of it. You lose by less than half a point. It's
The
like
worst-
the guy gave up 7
The
sacks.
worst defensive thing that I've been a part of was last season. So we're going to go all the way back to 2022, 2021. I was up 16 going into... oh man, who was he? I was up 16 going in the semifinals. It was Monday night, the Ian Book game when Ian Book played. Who did
I remember this.
Who did
Was
he
it the
play?
Bucks? Was it the Bucks? The Saints Bucks?
Oh, was it Buccaneers?
I can pull it up here really quick.
What's
Ian
the
Book,
only
that's a
game?
name
I
haven't
mean,
heard
the
in a
only
long
game he
time.
played in his whole career, probably.
Maybe ever. Last year,
Miami. That's what I thought it was. This was the Dolphins.
That's so
The
random.
opponent
too.
had the Dolphins defense, and I was up 6. I think it was 16 or whatever. First play, very first play. And I'm like, oh boy, okay. I think Drew Brees got rolled out last year.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
Dolphins had 25 points in that game.
so Drew Brees got rolled out. And I'm like, oh man, it's Ian, and I think Andy Dalton had COVID or something. So it was it was Ian Book,
man.
and then I'm like, okay. Very first pass of the game, pick 6, and I'm like, oh, this is over.
Well, the other thing is too, I'm looking at this last year. The Dolphins finished 22 overall on defense, so this is they probably got a quarter of their points.
Yeah, it was a disaster. It was a disaster.
They were boom or bust. but
That's
terrible.
the worst defensive bad
Yeah, it's
beat
like
I've been
that
a
pick
part of.
6. If a guy tackles him on the 1, you. No, you
Yeah,
probably
I
don't
actually
win that
don't
game.
know if it's I think he still would have beat me with the pick 6, without the pick 6. But yeah, it was just
But yeah, it just goes all that stuff. But this just dumpster fire in Indianapolis. They clearly aren't playing to win. They're playing for draft picks.
Hey, Giants defense is a good stream this week.
Giants defense is a good stream, and yeah, that should be getting talked about a lot more. But yeah, I don't want to play Michael Pittman. I don't want to play. Yeah, I had Zach Moss and Gerald Everett, and I was down by 8. Or down by 16. I thought I was going to win. I didn't get.
So you kind of say your sit, Trent? Or you go with your sit?
Yeah, I'm good. Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say in this?
I like Zach Moss. It's a good spot for Zach Moss. I think Hodgins is interesting. Maybe more of a DFS play than a championship play. But Moss, Hodgins, I think a decent secondary stack for DFS. But yeah, this is a pretty low total. I don't want that much of it.
Yeah, sorry for all the just, fantasy war stories, just, a bunch of salty vets in here, talking about the good old days and what ifs. But yeah, the Giants, they're not great against the pass or run, but they're playing against the Colts. So this is a very sneaky defense.
Yeah, well,
play
I don't know. I like Zach Moss just because he's gonna run the ball probably. He played 70% of snaps last week. He's gonna run the ball like 15, 20 times.
It's weird with like Deion Jackson too, because he had that game versus the Vikings.
They like Zach Moss.
Yeah. So
Saquon's in a smash spot. Right?
Yeah, Saquon's in a good spot too.
yeah. So we got next game.
Well, are we all taking the Giants?
I'm going to take the Giants.
I'm taking the Giants, and I believe Phil took the Giants.
Should we text Phil that Sam Ellinger now got the nod at start and see if he takes it and just switches his?
We can give him the last minute switch. He'll probably ask for the.
If Ellinger enters the game,
He'll probably ask for
mid-game
the
to
spread
change.
though. If you tell him that.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Next game we got here, we have the New Orleans Saints at 6-9, traveling to Philadelphia at 13-2. The current total is 43.5. Philadelphia is favored by 5.5. I'm guessing this favor is only because we don't know about Jalen Hurts yet.
Yes.
It's still possibly Gardner Minshew, and the Saints are quarterback matchups. They're 11th toughest defense against the quarterback.
Yeah, it's not a
position.
great matchup for the Eagles. I think I like the passing game regardless. Like I think Goddard, Smith, Brown, you're playing obviously. But I obviously like it a lot more if Hurts is playing. And then on the New Orleans side, I don't like much here. Olave, if he plays, that's probably it. Kamara, I guess. But you're probably not in the championship if you had Kamara on your team anyways. So
yeah, that's just, and I believe he's going to be a free agent this year also.
Is he?
I believe, or he's close.
with the court case pending too.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting thing to follow. I'm going to take Eagles. Anyone going Saints?
No.
No.
Phil picked the Eagles.
We are flying through these games.
They are flying, yeah.
But it's just hard. It's championship weekend. Like the fantasy dad said, you just kind of play your guys, and then
I think
the totals are down. The weather's ugly. Like
you're hoping Hurts plays if you have him, man.
for sure.
a
want
lot
him
of
to play
Hurts guys, I don't know, dodge that bullet though.
I dodged the bullet by playing Minshew last week.
Yeah.
which helped.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
So if you're looking for some extra fantasy football help from trades to waivers or just looking for a league, our Dude Nation Discord is the place for you. There will be a link to that in the show notes, so go ahead and check out Dude Nation. Coming up next, we have the Carolina Panthers at 6-9, traveling to Tampa Bay, who is 7-8.
This game is a big deal, right?
There's some playoff implications here. The current line is 40.5, and Tampa Bay is favored by 3. I did not think Carolina would be in the playoff hunt this long, but here we are. They smashed the Lions last week. They're kind of hot. Does anyone think the Panthers upset the Bucks here at home on the road?
I have a sit here, Trent.
You have a sit? Getting your sit.
Yeah.
there,
I got Mike Evans as a sit. My first note here is Tom Brady sucks.
You've been wanting to say that for years, Jordan.
And I can finally say it with confidence. And I do not feel I'm gonna say that I won't get burned, and I'll probably get burned here. But
Brady's gonna go off. Now.
I mean, Carolina's middle of the road defense. But Brady can't get it to Evans down the field right now. So
here's the weird thing though about Mike Evans. Okay, he has more targets and receptions than he did last year.
yeah, but Trent,
His
he has
touchdowns
not
are
had.
down.
He only has 2 100-yard games this year, and hasn't had a touchdown since week 4.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the thing is he is so touchdown dependent. It's finally caught up with him.
He's getting like 9, 7, but the throws are not. They're not like good targets, and they're just not capable of getting Evans the ball in the right spot. It's like
you probably want to see catchable targets, right?
What about this? Okay, Derek Carr traded to Tampa Bay for Tom Brady.
it will never happen.
You don't think the Raiders would do it now?
No, I don't think the Buccaneers will do it. But yeah,
because they're kind of in that weird spot where, just quarterback draft wise. I'm sorry. But
Yeah, I think Foreman, Chuba, like Carolina just wants to run the football. Moore's okay, but I like Godwin a lot more than Evans. Fournette and White are both interesting. Like, they're both fine, I think. If you have to do it, I think it's fine.
yeah, Tampa's decent. They're fourth on pass allowed per game. They're giving up 195 passing yards per game.
I just like all the running backs in this game for the most part.
You don't want to do the DJ Moore fire.
I mean, I think Moore's fine. Like, if you have to, like.
Yeah, he is so frustrating. Okay. Yeah,
I got Tampa here.
I'm going Tampa also.
I'm going the
just
Bucks.
Gonna go.
I mean, Brady's just getting lucky. He's figuring out how to win games. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time betting against Tom Brady figuring out a way to win this game at Tampa with playoffs in the line. Like, I tend to think he just figures it out. Doesn't mean he'll be good in fantasy, but
Yeah.
I tend to think they'll just he's just gonna dink and duck his way. Am I saying that right?
Dink and dive.
No,
Dodge, duck.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
No, like
He's just going to dump the ball down on the running backs the whole entire way down the field, and he's going to pass to Godwin on the short
I
side.
kind of want to just make a reel, like a YouTube short of Jordan saying Tom Brady sucks and like tag him and have it go viral. Then
That'd
him,
be
like,
awesome.
Him just
I'm
go off
fine
on
with that.
Him just go off on Jordan.
Give me the Kirk Cousins. You like that?
Yeah. Him go off on Jordan. His next documentary he does when he retires again. He did say the next time he retires, it's for real. But Cleveland, he said that this week. Cleveland Browns next game at 6-9, traveling to play the Washington Commanders, who are 7-7-1.
That's a great line right
Yeah.
there. 7-7-1.
Yeah, current total is 40.5. Washington is favored by 2. Antonio Gibson's kind of messing with some injury.
Is he on the
Yeah,
injury report?
I think he's going to play, but
Oh, it's a great spot
his
for
ankle,
it's a
so
great
good
spot for
Robinson's
Brian
spot.
Robinson. Anyways,
I'm
like
sure Gibson will play, but
Robinson had like 20 plus carries last game out. Yeah, I love the spot for Brian Robinson. I like the spot for the Washington defense. The Browns are horrible. What I said about Brady applies to Deshaun Watson. I mean, you can play Nick Chubb, but it's a really tough matchup. Washington defense is even getting better with Chase Young back. So,
yeah.
Terry McLaurin's in a tough spot, but obviously he's really good, and so you can play him. But I like Brian Robinson a ton here.
Yeah, Robinson's on the injury report with a quad injury.
I'm sure
Gibson
he'll
has
play.
a foot. Yeah.
It's
Gibson's
an ugly game, though.
Gibson's always having like a foot or a knee or a
Yeah.
shin or whatever. We got Chase Young back. Washington is, giving up 114 rushing yards per game. They're really tough against the pass. Man, I want to go with Cleveland here just to go different, but I think I can't. Like, I think I got to go Washington. Is this going to be the week that we get our most picks right as like a group?
Yeah, because
What is
Oh, we're all going to get them all
totally
wrong. It's either
backfires
going to be
on us.
real good or real bad.
I think Phil took the Commanders, and I think we're all leaning Commanders here.
Yeah, I got Washington.
Phil's going to say we all just copied him
sure.
because he put his picks in first.
I just think Deshaun Watson's terrible.
I think he's terrible.
I'm for fantasy wise and Amari Cooper and stuff. I'd like to see them get a little bit better.
I don't see many games here going down, looking ahead that we're going to differentiate.
I feel like a lot of, like I said earlier, I feel like a lot of these games.
There's
are
going to
just,
be
like,
one game
blindly
coming up
obvious.
that me and Seth might pick differently then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, me and Seth are just going to take this all the way down to week 18. We're
And
gonna
we,
do all
we have agreed on every pick, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
And the thing is, I will die on that hill tying with Jordan and make it come down to next week. That'd be fun,
What if it came down to like Seth picked the Titans and I picked the Jaguars on
What if I just
Sunday Night
copy
Football?
Jordan just for strategy? Should I do that? That's not a bad
It's
idea.
not a bad idea. But what if he's doing that to you?
Well, someone has to
Well,
go
it
first.
doesn't matter.
All right. Well, next game here, the kick off the afternoon slate or evening slate, depending where you live. The San Francisco 49ers at 11-4, traveling to Las Vegas, who is 6-9. The current total is 41.5. San Francisco is favored by 10. Talked a lot about the Raiders already. I have a sit in this game. I actually had Devontae Adams as my sit before the Carr news, and it seems weird being championship week and being like, I have no interest in playing Devontae Adams. Like, I don't. You probably aren't in the championship if you have Devontae Adams because he put up that dud last week.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, he's kind of been the guy who's carried your team So Devontae Adams, he has Stidham throwing him the ball. 49ers actually, like you look at it, the 49ers are tough defense. Like, and I have no interest in playing Josh Jacobs either. So 49ers defense.
Is Josh Jacobs even going to play?
Yeah, are we even confident that Devontae and Jacobs are playing?
Like, I don't know if they might not
Like
play.
literally suit up. Like
think
I
they
don't.
might just end up saying
they
I'm
may
not?
They may just might sitting too. I don't know.
Yeah, just talk about.
I
a
think
dumpster
Jacobs might
fire.
sit more than Devontae will.
Yeah, I suppose
but-
because Jacobs is a free agent, but
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm Josh Jacobs, he might just not even come to the thing is, you have to come to the game or then you look like a bad teammate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you have that hurts you too. So
Maybe his teammates support him though. I mean, I think everyone's pretty. I think the whole Raiders team's
yeah,
probably
but
pretty
like
frustrated.
Yeah, but when you're getting signed somewhere else, they like hold it against you. It's like, well, you're a bad teammate. Why should we pay you this extra money? We're going to knock this much money off because you're.
There
your
probably is
antics.
implications for him to be there though, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So is there any like Christian McCaffrey?
Oh, it's
You
an
can
awesome
stream-
CMC spot. It's George Kittle, good spot for George Kittle.
Brock
Ayuk,
Purdy or Minshew if you had to stream quarterbacks.
Minshew. Maybe Purdy.
Purdy's having a solid.
But Minshew he throws the ball. He's gonna chuck it. So like I like Minshew. I like CMC a lot in DFS too. So
And maybe even
George Kittle, I like Kittle, too.
Yeah, Ayuk. Anyone you're willing to play on the Raiders side?
Well, you know what?
Maybe Renfro's might sneaky.
If somehow like Devontae and Jacobs didn't play, then obviously like Zamir White would be interesting. If Jacobs didn't play, Zamir White's interesting. But it's just no. You know what? Against the
49ers
Niners,
rush defense is
yeah,
tough.
no.
They're stout.
There's nothing. No, I don't want any Raiders. No matter what, I don't want any
49ers, they're hot. Like they're on a big win streak still. Like,
Yeah.
is there any chance this ends up being like the 49ers last year where they say they were going to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and they end up bringing him back with Derek Carr? Or you think it's absolute? He had the remarks last year. Of
But
like,
you're talking about the Raiders bringing
yeah,
back.
Raiders are like, hey.
Oh no, they're
yeah,
done. This is over.
It's over. He said the whole thing, I'm going to retire if I'm not the quarterback of the Raiders, all that.
Derek Carr said that.
Yeah, remember he said that last year? He's like,
Oh
this
yeah.
is-
Well, I mean, things change.
Yeah. So I'm going to go 49ers. Anyone going to go different here, Seth?
Everyone took 49ers.
Alrighty. 49ers. All right. Next game, we have the New York Jets at 7-8. Robert Saleh is traveling back to his old stomping grounds, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm sure Phil is torn with this game. Seahawks are 7-8. The current total is 42.5. New York Jets are favored by 1.5. Mike White has been cleared to play. So I actually really like some of the Seahawks in this game, some of the Jets in this game, some of the pass catchers. I think you can play them. Does this make Zonovan Knight, kind of an intriguing play, Jordan, on the Jet side of the ball? Are you
I don't love it.
done with that?
Yeah, I think I'm done with Zonovan Knight. He burned me too hard.
He burned you 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm not a big Zonovan Knight guy anymore, but I think Mike White's in a good spot. I love Garrett Wilson this week, and you get him back, bounce back for Garrett Wilson. Gino, DK, Walker's in a tough matchup, but he's fine. Like he got you there. You're playing him, but I really like Garrett Wilson a lot.
Yeah. Well, the Seahawks are dead. They're dead last against running backs on rushing yards per game. They're giving up 155 rushing yards per game, and they're middle of the road versus passing game. So that's where I'm like Zonovan White or not. Maybe Michael Carter. I don't know, but Jets even got a good offensive line. Like they got a lot of young talent on that team. Man, I'm leaning New York Jets. I don't know if there's something else you want to touch on this in here. Like you interested in playing Mike White in DFS or no?
No, I think I am. Maybe I like Garrett Wilson a lot in DFS this week. He's probably on maybe DK Metcalf if Lockett is out. If Lockett is in, I'm not really sure, but.
Seattle's not great against tight ends if you want to take a flyer
Lockett
on like Tyler
did-
Conklin. I'm just looking, maybe something your championship roster.
This is the
needs.
game that I don't know if me and Seth might.
Yeah, we might split here. I know
I
Lockett
just-
he didn't practice, but he was seen catching passes.
And
I could catch passes in a wheelchair. I'm sure Tyler Lockett
Well,
can too.
I mean,
Well, he had
he
how
got
is he
finger
catching
surgery.
passes?
Finger
surgery.
Then I probably couldn't in a wheelchair. If I had a finger
Pete
surgery.
Carroll did say that he did not need to practice in order to play.
Okay.
I think he actually had a lot of Wednesdays off this season.
Man, I don't know who to take here.
I'm taking. I know
I'm
Phil.
going New York.
Phil picked the Seahawks. I'm going to pick the Seahawks too.
You're taking the Jets.
I'm going to take
Trent?
the Jets. Phil's just that guy, though. He'll go down with the ship, like.
I'm fine losing this one to Jordan because
When it
I feel
comes
like
to
this one's
football
close
teams-
enough. I got to take the Seahawks.
When it comes to football teams, Phil's just super loyal, almost to a fault.
That's why he put the sad face on this one because he can't. He hates
I
picking
say
against the
that, but
Jets.
he used to be a Raiders fan, so that's why it's funny saying he's.
I'm
loyal
gonna
to a
go.
fault.
My gut says Jets. I'm gonna go Jets.
All right, there's the difference there, baby.
Jets.
This might be the difference in the whole thing.
for all the hard
Question:
work
Are
put
we
in.
for the totals? Are we going just through the regular season? Or are we continuing this through the playoffs? Or
Last year we just did regular season and we did it again playoffs is what we
yeah,
did.
we read.
So
I
did
think we
two
should just
separate.
do regular.
Wait, you know what's actually crazy? Whoever wins this week, me or Jordan could just take the same picks next week in week 18 and still win.
Yes, if someone gets one
Or
up-
two.
Yes.
And whoever gets the lead can just pick the same person as the next is week 18 and they'll
yes,
win.
unless like somehow,
And that's what
Well, yeah.
that's whoever wins this game's gonna do.
Yes.
So it's gonna come down to maybe this game or another one, or
Yeah.
maybe we trade on this one and trade on another
Yeah.
one too.
All right.
Oh, man.
And so we all got our picks there. So let's get into the next one here. Next game we have the Minnesota Vikings. Let me get my lines up here. We got the Minnesota Vikings at 12-3, traveling to Green Bay, who is 7-8. The current total is 48.5, and Green Bay is favored by 3. Aaron Rodgers, he's a little hurt, isn't he?
He's always. I mean, it's a
Always
Wednesday.
something,
I'm not
yeah.
worried about him on a Wednesday.
I know he's going to play, but this is an interesting one here. The Packers have to win or go home.
I think it's a really good game. Dalvin's in a really good spot here. Justin Jefferson, obviously, always in a good spot. It's a great spot for Rodgers in the Green Bay passing game.
I wish this was Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. Well,
We're probably going to get the 49ers Raiders game, and this game's going to be going on,
yeah, I wish it was Sunday Night Football too, but I actually don't because I like it for the DFS slate. So,
Okay.
I like Christian Watson if he's back. If not, Dubs and Lazard, good spots. Oh man, Trent got me.
I've never said Dubes before, though. That is way worse than what I've called it.
Smoking
Dubs, but yeah. What do you say? I'm trying to
Dubs.
I think I say Dobbs. is what I
Dobbs.
say,
Yeah,
not
it's
Dubes.
Dubs. Other people say Dubs.
I don't know who those other people are you're talking to. But,
I really like the spot for Aaron Rodgers quite a bit. I like the passing game here. So I will definitely have a lot of Rodgers stacks and DFS, and then Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson bring backs. But yeah, I like this game quite a bit.
This is outside. This is the frozen tundra. I actually don't know if it's
The total is fairly high though, 47.5.
I don't think it's snowing.
Do you
Yeah.
think Aaron
It's just
Rodgers
be
is like the
cold.
stream of the week?
I do really like Aaron Rodgers.
Let me see what he's
He
rostered.
hasn't thrown I think his passing yard hasn't reached over 250 in that many times.
He's 72% rostered.
Yeah, so I mean, I know I have him, and I have to
Well-
pick between 3 quarterbacks.
Well, we'll just look at this here. Versus the Rams, Rodgers had 11 fantasy points.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Versus Miami, he had 13. I know the Vikings are bad, but I don't know if I'm willing to go down with the ship, with Aaron Rodgers as much as great as he's been. It's just a weird. Now, if the Packers win this game, they finish the season at Detroit, and Detroit will be playing for
it's going to
playoffs,
be
too.
an awesome game.
That could be, hopefully that's like Sunday Night Football. I don't know. They've probably flexed it already.
Well, or the Jaguars Titans will be Sunday Night Football.
When was the last time the Lions were on Sunday Night Football? It's been a while, I feel like. So, they host the Detroit Lions in Green Bay. We're really getting ahead of ourselves here. Justin Jefferson. What do you think about Dalvin Cook?
I love
in this
Dalvin
game?
Cook. Love him.
Okay.
So Green Bay is not good against the run.
Okay. Hawkinson's kind of coming.
Yeah,
alive
Hawkinson's
lately.
awesome. Yeah, Hawkinson's great too. I think all three of those Vikings guys are good. And I like the
this
Minnesota
is-
passing game.
this, honestly, for Vikings fans, this isn't a primetime game.
No, but it's also not in the 10 a.m. slot
Okay.
or the 1 p.m.
Yeah,
10 a.m.
yeah.
slot. It's in the afternoon slot.
So he's not as good in this slot either.
No,
Man, I think I got to go Packers. I'm going to go with history.
I
really
have
want the
Green Bay.
Vikings.
I don't know what that's going to do.
What are
I
you
have
gonna do
Green
here,
Bay though.
Schoolboy, you got probably 12 wins just because of the Vikings.
I think when Justin Jefferson played the Packers last time, did he not do that well?
Oh, he did awesome.
He did awesome,
Yeah,
and they won that game right
he
by
had
a
like
lot.
40 fantasy points in that game.
Jeez, oh man.
34 feet. Yeah, that was week
Shoot,
one.
man, I don't know. I guess I could go for the wash here with Jordan. I guess it really doesn't matter because if I lose that first game with Jordan, and if I
Jefferson
lose
is
this
red
one,
hot right now, man. He's 320
Yeah,
plus
he's-
games
I
in
don't
a
think
row.
it hurts if I go opposite of Jordan here because even if I lose the Seahawks Jets game,
You could lose this one too.
I can lose this one too, and it won't mean anything, right?
Well, then you're
but
down two if you lose both of them.
But the thing is, if I win that one and lose this one, then I'm screwed. So
But
it's
if
like,
you lose both, you're really screwed. You're double screwed.
well, it doesn't matter.
What he's saying doesn't
Double
matter.
stamp,
I'm
triple
just-
stamp.
This gives him this gives us both an opportunity to tie after this week still, where
Yes.
Man, what do we do if you guys both tie?
Honestly, I might leave it on the table with the Seahawks. I might just copy here Jordan and just pray the Seahawks just win.
You
I
really
might-
are. You really
I
are going
might
to pray.
rest my
though.
season on the
Yeah.
Seahawks here. I think I might do it.
I don't think you're allowed to pray for stuff like that. Honestly,
I'm not going to pray for it, but I'll be.
You just said you were going to pray for it.
No, I said I let my season fall on it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
Or
for-
maybe I said pray
sorry
for a win.
convicting
I don't know.
I
I
somebody
probably-
rewind it and figure out what he said. I'm pretty
You're
sure
right.
I said
I
pray.
probably did say that.
And you
he
probably
meant it,
should.
he meant
honestly.
it figuratively, not literally.
Yes, because you're right. I won't spend
All
time.
right, you better promise you're not going to pray for this. Just don't say anything. I'm already judging you.
Wait, what were you taking,
need-
Seth?
You need help, Seth.
Oh, you're taking Green
Sure,
Bay,
I
Jordan
take Green
Roberts.
Bay.
You are a
You know, I'm going to go
disgrace.
for, just in case the Seahawks lose, I'm going to pick the Vikings here. And I'll just do it there. And then that might make it fun so it's tied going into week 18. I'll do that.
That's
I'll
how
make it fun.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I can appreciate that. All right, we got our next game here. We have the Los Angeles Rams traveling to play the Los Angeles Chargers. It is
Yeah,
a
travel real far there.
neutral site. I'm wondering how this is weird, but the Rams
I don't think
are
it's a
5 and
neutral
10.
site. They're both at home.
Yeah, but the Chargers are technically home.
Yeah,
They're
but they
9
share.
and
It's like
6.
when the Lakers and the Clippers play in Staples Center. They share the same arena. So
Yeah, but it's just like I feel like the Lakers fans own that. I don't know who's going to own this. I feel like it might be more
it'll be
Rams.
Rams.
Well, they even both changed their colors, so you can't even tell when you're watching on TV. Like it's really messed up. The total is 41. The LA Chargers are favored by 6.5.
I have a start here.
Chargers finally have playoff berth. Herbert's first. Jordan has a start here. Jordan, get into your start here.
Chargers give up the 7th most rushing yards this season and over 5 yards per carry, and they give up 20 fantasy points to running backs. My start's Cam Akers. Akers played awesome last week, 75% snaps the last 2 games. He had 23 carries. I think it's 23 carries last week. He got like 3 touchdowns. Just ran all over the Broncos. It's another great spot for running backs. I think Chargers team already clinched playoff spots, so I don't know how motivated they'll actually be. I don't think they can win the division. Maybe they can. I just don't see it happening. I think Cam Akers, I don't know if it's Cam Akers. They're showcasing Cam Akers. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but he's had a resurgence recently, and then they seem to like him again. So I love Cam Akers in this spot. I love him in DFS. I think you are 100% starting him in your championship game this week.
Is it? Yeah. Is it kind of no? Higbee's been on fire, but I don't really like him.
I don't trust
matchup.
Higbee that much.
I don't like, and I think the Chargers are actually decently tough. Yeah, they're pretty tough against tight ends with Derwin James and stuff.
I think you can play all the 4 main Chargers guys:
Is Derwin
Williams,
James
Allen,
even
Eckler,
playing?
Herbert. I don't know if Derwin James is playing. He
Yeah,
got ejected,
yeah,
right?
ejected.
I
So
think he can still. He'll probably play. He can play. I think.
Okay. Yeah, this is the game we're getting the afternoon. Probably is the Rams.
Yeah,
Chargers
probably.
one.
No, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get the. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, we might get the 49ers.
I'm taking the Chargers here.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, no
as
one
well.
else you would play on the Rams or Chargers. You're playing.
I
your
like
guys.
Cam Akers a lot. I don't trust anyone else on the Rams.
Phil took Rams.
No.
He's taking the Chargers.
Okay. Man,
Phil's
part
not
of me
taking
just
any
wants to
risks.
think like I'm going to go Rams just to be different here. I know this is everyone's going to.
You have to ride with Baker, Trent.
Yeah, I got to ride with Baker and.
He looked good last week.
Chargers coach, like he always screws stuff up. Honestly, the Chargers screw stuff up as well. They're like a more polished version of the Raiders. It would not surprise me if the Rams end up winning this one. But whose house? Rams' house. Sunday night football. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Baltimore. Steelers are 7-8. Baltimore Ravens are 10-5. The current line is 35, and Baltimore is favored by 2.5. And I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to play yet.
I don't think he will.
I don't
either.
think he's playing.
Gonna be a Huntley game. It's weird though. Like they don't have to rush him back because they're in playoffs.
Yeah, they're in playoffs.
clinched. J.K. Dobbins burned me last week.
I think like him and Gus Edwards. I saw Harbaugh said they're not in the snap count or a pitch count. They're splitting carries. Tough matchup.
It is a tough matchup. I don't know if I want to play either of them. Man, I don't.
Andrews, I guess. I don't really like it though.
No,
Pickens, Freiermuth, Deontay are all like startable. Like if you have to, like in a flex, like
Do we got bad weather in this game?
I don't know, it's 36 total though. Or what did you say it was? I had 36. What did you say it was?
I said 35.
Okay, so it's gone down
Yeah,
one.
It opened up at 36 and a half.
Yeah, so I don't. This game's ugly. So it's gonna be a weird Sunday night game.
Is there any probably a good Najee game? I
guess Najee's fine. It's tough. Baltimore's a really good run defense though.
Yeah, but I just could see the volume maybe being there. Yeah, you're right. Man, this is always a good. This is always a good rivalry too. Like this is usually a pretty physical game.
I got Baltimore.
I'm gonna go.
Phil took the Steelers. I'm going the Ravens though.
I'm gonna go Ravens also.
It's Phil letting you in the back door, Trent.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers won this one.
The Steelers have been very good to me. I've picked them quite a bit. I think they're one of the reasons that I'm tied with Seth now. But I'm just getting off. And in Baltimore, I guess you said the Baltimore doesn't need to win.
Yeah, they don't. And I need a big game out of George Pickens.
So I don't know. I like Baltimore here.
Alrighty, last game, Monday Night Football, possibly the game of the week. Really, we have the Buffalo Bills at 12-3, traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, who are 11-4. The current total is 49.5. Buffalo is favored by 1. Buffalo needs to win this game to keep the 1 seed, right? So Joe Burrow's pretty hot right now. This could be this is going to be a fun game.
This game's gonna be an awesome game to watch.
It's Monday night. You have Diggs needs to come back though. He did not play very good last week. Gabe Davis didn't. Just kind of the Bills are winning, but it's just kind of weird. They're just finding ways to win. I feel like the media wants to panic and everything, but the defense seems to be good. Do you like this? Isn't a great matchup for Burrow, Jordan?
I think it's a decent matchup for the passing games. I just like all the studs here: Allen, Burrow, Diggs, and then Higgins, Chase. The only guy that worries me is Joe Mixon, only 59% snaps last week. And then on the running game, on the other side, you have Cook and Singletary. Cook 41%, Singletary 59%. So I don't like the running games as much here. I really like the passing games on both sides, though.
Yeah. Maybe another Dawson Knox game. I don't know. I say that every week. But yeah, Gabe Davis needs to get rolling again. Is anyone anything else you want to add into this game here?
It's just going to be a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, and good Monday night game. Hopefully,
possibly playoff preview of something.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, but definitely important to both teams. I'm going to say Bills win this one on the road. Anyone can go?
I got
Bengals?
Cincinnati.
Phil picked the Bengals. I'll just go with Jordan here. I'm gonna pick Bengals as well. This is actually big playoff implications for who gets home field advantage.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think this is a pretty important game for Cincinnati at home. They've been playing really well. Buffalo, they've been playing arguably better than Buffalo. I don't see them losing this game at home.
I saw a video. Buffalo wins out, they get home field advantage, and if KC wins out and Buffalo loses this game, KC gets home field advantage. And Mahomes has never played an away playoff game except for a Super Bowl, right? Which is a neutral.
I thought there was the one year where he went.
No, every year he's 7-2 in playoffs, and all games were at home. Or maybe except for that one Super Bowl loss.
Because so they're counting the Super Bowl.
I don't know if they're counting. I don't think they're counting the Super Bowl.
Didn't he go to the New England?
No, he played all of his.
No, he lost to New England in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So all of his losses and wins have been in Kansas City. He's never played an away playoff game.
Yeah, and Buffalo really is a miserable place to play.
And I mean, think about the atmosphere you'd have to play at the AFC Championship in Buffalo. That'd be crazy.
Not that Kansas City's that much better, like weather-wise. Like it's
Yeah,
pretty
but
cold
it's a
there too, but-
Mahomes playing in Buffalo versus at home is completely different, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big game for the Bills and the Bengals, obviously. But
So, anyways, well, I think that about does it, guys. We all have our picks, right?
Yeah.
Phil picked the Bengals. Me and Jordan picked the Bengals, and you're taking the Bills, Trent.
Yeah, and Seth, can you reread us our
Yeah,
starts?
so I'll
Six,
reread
please.
the starts here. Trent has Tyler Algier and Cole Kmet. Jordan has Cam Akers and, man, I don't know why I'm
Brandon
blanking on
Cooks.
Brandon Cooks, probably because he hasn't played in weeks. And then if we go to the sits here, 1 second. Trent's got Michael Pittman and Devontae Adams, and Jordan has Mike Evans and Zeke.
Alrighty. Well, hey guys, again, thank you for listening to us every week. Remember to share us with your friends, family, all fellow dudes. And Jordan, you got something you want to say?
No, I'd just say, like, news-wise, like, we're going to go to one episode next week. I think we got to talk about if that's going to be on early in the week or when exactly we're going to release that.
We'll stay on the Monday thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
Wait, one last thing I want to add.
we will have the drafts coming too, though.
I just saw this in one of my group texts. Devontae Adams posted this around 8:30. He posted something saying that Derek Carr gave everything he had. He's the most disciplined and loving people I know. I have his back no matter what, and if you can't respect it, excuse my language, you can guess what comes next. But I mean, it's possible Devontae Adams might not play after this post.
Yeah, it's a good
Which is
point.
why I'm saying you should sit him.
Right, yeah, that make your sit obvious, right? But I mean, it's like the
Here's an
Raiders is
idea.
a
Check
dumpster
your
fire
group
right
text,
now.
Seth, in the middle of the show. So yeah, it is an absolute dumpster
It's a dumpster. All my Raider fans are going off. Like
You
we've
really
talked
need
about
to
this-
leave those group texts, Seth. Like,
Oh, it's
it'd be
fun though.
better
I
for
love
your life.
watching it. I love reading them. They're going off right now. It's great.
Well, yeah, we'll have a draft for you next week. Phil should be back unless he loses the Dynasty Championship to Seth. And I wouldn't be a dad without saying this, but see you next year. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.